Hey, I'm Ashley Goodwin, and I'm going to show you how to do this beginner look, especially if you have hooded eyes like I do. Super important, don't skip this step. Always use some eye primer. It's just a little bit and it helps use less product and your product will go on nicer. So I'm patting it here all over my eye. The primer I use actually helps hold some of those tricky eyebrow hairs in place too, so I rub it up in there. I just let it sit for a second and then I get started. So I'm starting with this deluxe brush. The bristles are short and dense, they're natural bristles, and I'm just pulling it through the color here alive on both sides, and I'll tap off the excess. Now I'm pushing it on my eye, I'm dabbing it, I'm not sweeping it across, and I'm applying it to my whole lid. This is important because even though I'm going to be using other colors in other areas later on, this helps create a nice base so they blend nicer and transition into different colors smoother. I've done it to both sides. Now I'm going in with my fluffy crease brush. I like how it's tapered at the end but fluffy on the tip. It's really nice for blending. I'm going in with the color Lively. I'm just applying it to the tip and tapping off excess. I'm going to line up my brush, but I'm going to apply it with my eye open. This helps me get it in the right place. With hooded eyes, we want to make our lid space look bigger, basically. So I'm going above my crease and I'm trying to follow the arch of my eyebrows. Now that I've applied that, I'm going in with a clean blending brush. Don't ever skip this step, do it between every color that you do. This is just making it blend nicer so that it's a smoother transition into my next shade. You just go back and forth a little bit and it just really smooths out that line. So now I'm applying the Lively color to the other lid. I actually had trouble with this lid a little bit, so I decided to keep this in the video just to show how I corrected it, because this is a beginner video and we'll come across to things like this, right? So I'm not getting the color high enough on my arch there. I'm not following the brow well enough, and I can see it, I'm just not quite sure how to fix it, and it really helps lift up my eye when I get the color in the right spot. So I'm applying a little bit more up top, but I'm actually it still looks low to me. I'm blending it to see if it helps, but it doesn't. So I like to look at each step individual. I'm not happy with it. So what I do, I want to lift up my brow there without having to hold it there with my finger. So I'm going to use the shadows to do that. So I'm just pushing the shadow in exactly in that tip up there where I need it. And that's all that I needed to make that little bit of a difference. It just really helps lift up that eye. Now I'm going in with my crease brush. It has short, dense bristles. I loaded it with the color Fervent just on the very tip. And I'm just dabbing it into the outer corner of my eye. The crease brush provides really nice control because I don't have excess product on my brush. I don't have fallout. I like to break my eye up into thirds when I'm trying to judge how far to bring that darker color in towards my nose. Now I'm pulling the color down to my bottom lash line. This just helps really open your eye and helps them look bigger. And as I move up into the top portion where I put the color, I'm just trying to follow that bottom lash line up. Now I'm pulling the product into my crease area as I'm finishing up that little outer corner there. I just wanted to be subtle when I put it into the crease. I'll now use a clean blending brush, and there's no product on my brush. I'm blending those lines out, and I'm also pulling it a little bit further into my crease. Here I'm just looking at the imaginary line between the outer corner of my eye and my nose. I want to make sure that my shadow is above that, not beyond that imaginary line. Now I'm using a sponge brush to apply this last color, Optimistic. I like a sponge brush for more shimmery colors. Tap off the excess, of course, and we're just going to apply this up into the arch here. Now you can see it went a little too far down. I don't like that, but that's where the blending brush really comes in handy to fix those little mistakes. Now I'm going to apply it into the inner corner of my eye. And just push it around there. And again, I'm going to finish with my blending brush. Here I'm not too happy with how the product was going at the arch there under my eyebrows, so I decided again to keep this in the video just so I could show you guys kind of how I fixed it. So I'm just going to finish applying it to the inner part of my eye there. Now I'm reloading my brush on the very edge rather than the wider spot, and this is just giving me a lot more precision. I want it at the very tip of my eyebrow arch there. I don't want it coming too far down my lid. I'm just trying to highlight my eyebrows there, and I found this worked way better, so I'm glad that I figured that out. Now time for my mascara. I have a hard time with my lashes falling down, and I found that this primer just really helps keep my lashes lifted up. It doesn't matter how long your lashes are, if they're not curved up, then you don't see them. So I'm just applying this to the very base of my lash. I'm not applying it to the tips. I'm just checking out the curve of my lashes, making sure things are even and that I still have a curve. Here I'm taking the excess off my mascara. I find then I get better volume and separation. I start at the base and I wiggle, and then I'm actually turning the brush away from me. This helps keep my lashes lifted. My brush that I'm using for the mascara, it has two sides. One has shorter bristles to create more volume, so if I don't twirl my brush, I'm not going to get that effect either. After I'm done at the base, then I keep twirling and I apply it to the tips of my lashes. I also just like to hold it there a little bit to help it set well and keep that curve up. Now, I am kind of messy still when I apply mascara. I do get it on my lids and places that I don't want it, especially because I'm trying to keep that lift. What I found is that this mascara sticks to your lashes, not your skin. So if I let the mascara dry before I remove it, it kind of brushes off easy from the skin while staying on my lashes. I love this because I'm not good at applying it yet. So now I'll just touch up with that original color Alive, where I had to clean up a little bit of my mascara. Time for some eyeliner. I'm going to do my waterline here. I just dry my lid off first. I'm so happy with how easy this liner went on. It was very nice and smooth. When I looked at my eye here, I noticed that it was kind of closing my eye up. I wasn't happy, so I went in and I just wiped a little bit of that away. Now I'm doing my tight line, the upper part under my lashes. When I blink, because I have both my water and tight line done, the product will stay on. It just moves basically between the top and the bottom there. I'm really happy with how this look turned out. I paired it with the color of lipstick called Sympathetic. If you found this helpful, please subscribe. I will be posting a link in the comments for all the colors I used, and please feel free to message me and ask any questions. I'm happy to help.